Done. Arne with TNT Sports.
Where's Ali?
He's up in commentary box. Yeah, I know. Good to go? Arne, congratulations. How much did you need that win?
Yeah, we needed to win. And what we needed more is another performance where we've created a lot of chances, but that then also the players get the reward with a win. And that's what happened today.
Yeah, you spoke a lot in this run of defeats about the fact that you were getting the chances, but the players weren't taking them. You've got to be pleased with the way they took them tonight. 5 different scorers, including your 2 centre-halves.
Yeah, I saw a lot of similarities, by the way, today compared to our other games, because the first chance they got was immediately a goal, and maybe the only chance they got today, but that maybe was because we went 3-1 up, and it's easier to control a game of football if you're 3-1 up than if you are 1-0 down or 2-1 down. So again, hardly conceded anything, but the main difference between this game and the 4 before was that maybe not all of them, but most of them, the other team scored a set piece, and now we were able to score 2 set pieces, and then people focus a little bit more on the attacks we had in the second half than on the misplaced passes, which we probably had today as well. But if you're 3-1 up, you are judged differently than when you are 1-0 down or 2-1 down.
Ekitike was always going to score against his former club tonight. Of all your new signings this summer, why do you think he's found his feet the quickest?
I wouldn't say quickest, but he found his way, what were your words? Feet on the ground?
Yeah.
No, I don't know exactly the English saying, but he's done well for us every time he plays. But again, the focus is then mainly on goals and assists, which he's done well for us. But there are also other parts of our game which are needed to win a game of football. And I saw players working really hard for them to create, I think, 1 or 2 counterattacks where one of them was scored. And that's also a main part of our game, and that's what they all did really well, including Hugo today.
It's the longest we've seen Hugo, Ekitike and Alexander Isak on the pitch together. Did it work?
Hugo got a big chance and he scored them. Alex got a few. Unfortunately didn't score yet. But he had to go off at half-time because he felt his groin a little bit. So that's a pity, but yeah. I've said it many times, it's such a difficult balance to find with a player that missed out 3 months. You bring him slow, you bring him slowly. People also maybe sometimes argue him if you cannot play him more or more often or longer. And now we've played him for the second time in 3 days, and unfortunately he had to go off. So let's hope for the best. But it's not an easy balance to find if a player has been out for so long.
Congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you.
OK, so Arne Slot confirming there that the substitution of Isak at half-time was due to a groin injury, feeling his groin, which for Liverpool fans, that will be really disappointing. I know they have Ekitike, but a big marquee signing like this, to have a little bit of anything is going to be a bit of a worry.
Yeah, and to be fair, he hasn't, obviously, he didn't have a pre-season, probably his own doing, really. Yeah. But I think now he's probably had 4 or 5 weeks, and I think people thought he was fit and healthy, so to go off injured would be a big blow to him, and I think obviously to the manager. But with Ekitike and Mo Salah, I thought Verts played well today. I think he'll play on the weekend against Brentford, play as a little number 10, so maybe they're going to settle on a team. Well, luckily they're sharing the goals out, and the centre-back stepped up today, didn't they? Virgil van Dijk getting a goal?
Yeah, I mean, he's already got a goal this year, hasn't he, against Atletico Madrid. Virgil, very powerful in the box. I mean, it was a mismatch, really, when Knauf was marking him and then gives up. And as soon as you let a 6'4", 6'5" centre-half get a run and jump on you, lovely delivery, and he's not going to miss from there. And as Virgil said, him and Canate scored against Milan last year at the San Siro, and they've done exactly the same again today. Just too powerful, just shrubs Knauf off again, and can't really miss from there, can he?
They're not even whipped in, those balls.
No.
You know, they're just kind of placed for the boys to go and attack it, and they're just too big, too strong. I mean, they're great headers.
Do you want to have a look at the next one? It was Cody Gakpo's goal as well. This one for 4-1 and an assist for Verts.
Yeah, this was when Liverpool were in cruise control, really. No pressure on the ball. Szoboszlai wins the ball, you can see. And they just give in. You see the forwards around, Szoboszlai just give in, and then he plays Verts with a simple ball. This was the harder pass to put it on the plate in between the centre defender and the goalkeeper. Wirtz gets his assist that people have been crying out for, and this is a proper assist because he puts on a play for Cody Gakpo, who's been arguably Liverpool's best forward since the start of the season, and he gets yet another goal. But Liverpool had 18 shots, 14 on target today. They were very, very dominant, particularly in the second half. Frankfurt just got tired.
This all was topped off by a pretty brilliant goal from Dominik Szoboszlai as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a fabulous ball striker. He's been unlucky, really, because of the issues they've had at right back. He's had to go in and fill in there. And to be fair, he plays really well there, but they need him in the middle of the park. Obviously, athleticism is probably the best of those midfield players in there, and he's a fantastic ball striker. So
I think with McAllister, hasn't hit the right type of form yet, and Gravenberch's had his injury worries. He's been the standout midfielder, hasn't he? As Owen said, he's played in a number of positions, but I thought tonight he was excellent. His energy levels are brilliant. He's a great, great athlete, and of course he's a great striker of the ball as well.
You get the impression when you hear Virgil van Dijk being interviewed that he's not getting too carried away with this win. It's almost like they're really disappointed with the slump, whatever you want to call it, the 4 losses in a row, but they want to get back to business and try and kind of regain some of the consistency that they're going to need to get in the title race. And I say get in it like they're not in it, but they're in it.
Yeah, but that's why he's probably not over-celebrating. These guys want to win Premier Leagues again, and they want to win Champions Leagues. You don't really, obviously you celebrate in the moment because you broke a losing streak, but these guys' goals are the biggest, to win the biggest trophies, and they'll be right there. As long as they sort out the defensive part, the players at the top of the pitch, they're good enough to win the Premier League and the Champions League.
First up, they've got to back this performance up against Brentford, which is on TNT.
Absolutely, that's the most important thing. They've won tonight and they've won really well, but they have to back it up. As you said, they have to go again and they have to be fit and they have to recover and they have to get down to Brentford and get the right result, because if they don't, then this game will be forgotten about. Of course it will be. They've got Real Madrid coming up in the next game of the Champions League, which is going to be hard. So they need to back it up and get some confidence and win. And instead of LLLL, it's going to have to be WW moving forward now.
Who else in that team? Because we speak a lot about defence. They're going to have obviously another window coming up soon in January and December and everything. Is that an error? Do you think that they'll go back into the market? And do you think that they're going to need to strengthen defensively like they could have done at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, they probably need another body. But I think they need to figure out the fullback situation a little bit first.
Yeah.
I thought Frimpong started, came off injured. Bradley came on and played quite well. I thought Robertson was terrific. Yeah. I think he'll start against Brentford on the weekend. But I think as soon as they sort that defensive out, and I do think they'll get a centre-back, whether it's Gahey or whoever, that is the recipe for them to go to win the biggest trophies.
Who's got the best squad in the Champions League, do you think?
Champions League? In numbers, I think Arsenal have. I think Bayern are excellent, but
Bayern don't have any depth, do they?
Barca or Bayern don't have any depth. I think Real Madrid have depth, but I think in terms of quality, I would say Arsenal have the better squad.
OK, guys. Look, I think we've got to go home. That was brilliant. Really enjoyed your company tonight, guys.